Arsenal, Liverpool, now Manchester United. You're going to remember more and put them in the comment section. That's a fact. This week we saw the diabolical, the disgraceful, the unadulterated robbery of the penalty that Arsenal should have had against Newcastle based on the precedent set by the PGMOL, by Howard Webb. We saw it. And as I've said on those pieces of content, in case you've only just seen my channel now, by the way, hit the like button, subscribe. Also, if you've got any spare points for the hypes, get the video hyped, get the channel hyped. You can do that by the comment section below. If you would be so kind as to get this video hyped and get it out there and get it in front of more people, that would be amazing. It's every bit as important as liking and subscribing. So hit that hype button as well, please. But if you watch the content regarding the PGMOL earlier on this week, I'm imploring people to stop debating whether they think it's a foul or not. That's almost missing the point. And you've got to listen to the precedents that have been set by the PGMOL. What they say are fouls and what they say are not fouls. What they say are red cards and what they say are not red cards. What constitutes X and what constitutes Y. And then we hold them to account. Because what we're seeking is consistency. I think we would all feel a lot different if nobody gets a penalty for very similar moments of Nick Pope versus Arsenal this season. At least we know there's some consistency and we can all get on board with that. And we can be happy to a certain extent. We get that in Europe. The handball rule in Europe, I think, is an absolute joke. But we all know it exists. Whether we like it or not, it's there. And they're very, very consistent about it. Now, the reason I bring this all up, I know Arsenal fans are angry. The Liverpool situation at the beginning of the season. Now, it didn't impact them. They won the game. But I almost feel they're the ones that are the most important to call out because they often go under the radar. They obviously had the handball in the Bournemouth game very early in the match where they checked it, but they checked the wrong handball. There was two in a very short sequence. The first one isn't handball. His arm's in a natural position, but the ball kind of, bit of a bad touch, deflects off his leg and hits his arm. They checked it and said, nothing to answer for here. Deflection, play on. The problem is, just a split second or two after the clip they reviewed finishes, you see the ball is about to run away from the player. I want to say it's Ekitike. I think it was Ekitike who's going to go clean through on goal. And what does he do? The defender reaches out and kind of slaps the ball away. They didn't check it. They didn't follow the protocol. Now, who knows how that game goes? Maybe Liverpool win that game more comfortably. Maybe the way they threw away that lead doesn't create nerves for them. Maybe they're a better team now because of it. We don't know. There could have been that butterfly effect. Maybe there's no difference whatsoever. But the fact is they made that massive mistake. And we've now seen another one. In fact, and there's been loads this year. There was the tackle on Wirtz that wasn't given as an example. There was the red card that should have been given to Newcastle for a denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity, not given. There was the offside goal that Chelsea conceded that absolutely wasn't checked and something was missed. There's many. We can keep going. We can keep going through them again and again and again and again and again. You know, a penalty that City should have had for a foul on, I think it was Oscar Bob at Tottenham. There's loads. And I'm naming them because this isn't about any one individual club. In fact, I have a whole list. I have them all bookmarked, all the major ones. And if I miss some, I'll miss some. But I've got loads in there. There's hundreds of them. Absolutely hundreds of them inside this. Now, the reason I bring this all up, and it was Ekitike, I was about to go through and go, I'm looking at the clip now. The reason I bring this up is because a statement has just been made. And so convenient that it's made just before the Super Sunday game kicks off via a journalist. It's done. And of course, the thing they admit, and there's a Fugazi element to this, and we'll go into it, is they've admitted, Howard Webb has come out and admitted a huge error to Manchester United. And they've come out and they've apologised. And they've said, yep, it should have been a red card against Brentford. We're very, very sorry. We've made a big mistake. And yep, you're all right. You're absolutely right on every level to be frustrated and to be annoyed. And yep, sorry guys, you got it. you got us. You got us there. We got that one wrong. And what they're doing is they're making out they own up to their mistakes. They're making out that, we're honest and we're integral and we don't lie to cover things up. See, if we have to lie to cover things up, why would we admit that we made a mistake here? Because invariably, the mistakes they make that they choose to apologize for and issue statements on, one, they have to make sure it isn't contradicting something else massive they've covered up. Every now and then they let that slide through as well. But the second reason is you've got to let a few go. You ever watch those gangster movies where it turns out you feel like, you know what? The Don has been head of his family in New York for 50 years, yet he's never been arrested, he's never done any time, and then it always gets revealed later in the movie that he's been selling a few lower level people out over the years, and it keeps him out of prison. So every now and then he has to go, right, no one from our family's gone to jail for a while. They're going to know that they know that we've got informants then and someone at the FBI is on the take. So what we have to do is throw a few people under the bus to make it look real. That's what the PGMOL do. They move like gangsters, right? We've got to throw a few decisions out there where we made mistakes. But they typically speaking do it at weird times, just before big games are kicking off. So that's everybody's main focus, but the news gets out there. And they very, very regularly pick games that nobody's going to go too mad over. Man United, Brentford. A lot of rivals won't care that Man United got screwed over. A lot of Man United fans won't care. And you actually read the comments, it's a bit like, well, we're crap anyway. Manager problems, team problems. What does it matter? Well, I think the integrity of the game does matter. And yes, there should have been a red card. We shouldn't have had to have waited. It should have just been a red card, very quickly checked and done. Maybe if Bruno isn't waiting 6 minutes, by the way, the subs shouldn't have been allowed either. Maybe he scores the penalty. Maybe we go on to win the game. Maybe the narrative all week would have been different. Maybe it's 3 wins on the bounce right now and there's a confidence building at United. These things matter. These things impact games. And I'll call it out for your club, so I'm going to also defend it when it comes to my club as well. It's a disgrace. But I'm telling you now, this is like a wolf in sheep's clothing. And yes, they've admitted they made a mistake, but they get no credit from me. Why did it take you 8 days? Why are you announcing this almost via the back door through an exclusive interview with a newspaper in the middle of a Sunday, in the middle of the games? Why? The reason you're doing it is so you can say it's done, but you know it's going to go under the radar. You see governments do this when they want to do something cheeky that no one's going to like. They wait till a major event happens and that everybody's focused on. Could be the death of somebody important, or there could be a riot somewhere or a tsunami. And then there's policies being passed through that no one's focusing on. Oh, yeah, no one complained. Yeah, we'll put that one through. Ding, ding. That's what they're doing here. It's so obvious. And we have to stay on their neck. Metaphorically, we must stay on their neck. We must maintain this pressure. Why did it take 8 days for a mistake we all saw in that moment? What's the punishment for this mistake? And what are they doing to rectify it? That's the issue I have here. Nothing. All I'm seeing is, yeah, guys, we admitted we cheated you out of a big opportunity. We've ignored it for a week. Us admitting it doesn't even give you anything or do anything. There's no recourse on this. No one's losing their job. Everybody's still getting paid. You're still frustrated, but we're really good guys because we admitted our mistake. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. This weekend, it's just weekend after weekend after weekend, these horrendous mistakes keep getting made over and over and over again. And I'll be honest with you, the only other group of people that are as culpable, I think, are a percentage of us, a percentage of the fans who are so tribalistic when it comes to these decisions. They think about it from their club's point of view. And you saw, of course, Fulham should have had their goal that was disallowed against Chelsea as an example. And Chelsea fans felt really hard done by. They felt then they got screwed over out of the decisions. But you know what's really funny? You notice how if they'd admitted they made a mistake for that Chelsea Brentford game, they knew it would be a much bigger storm. It'd be a much bigger situation. If they admitted they made a mistake against Arsenal, even though Arsenal won the game, a much bigger situation because there's a title race involved and a really engaged fan base that loves their football club, that cares about winning every game by hook or by crook at this particular moment. But they know with Man United, we'll let the Fulham one out because Fulham fans are few and far between. There won't be any noise that they got screwed over and cheated. Man United fans right now are more focused on getting Amram out, Ineos out, and scoring some goals. They're not going to care too much. And you actually see that in a lot of the replies to it. Don't care. Should have won anyway. Don't care. Probably wouldn't have won anyway. We're ignoring the issue here that it's another catastrophic mistake from the people refereeing our games. And I don't even understand how they can make this mistake. For me, the the denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity, the fact that you've never needed to be in control of the ball. Never. Because we've seen it last year. The fact that went through a referee's mind in that moment, and you've got a referee, you've got they've got all the assistants around the pitch, you've got the VAR and all the people in that box. Between like 4, 5, 6, 7 people involved in a conversation, not one of them thought, well, he doesn't. Listen, guys, I know you're saying he hasn't got control of the ball, but that's irrelevant because he's going to get control of the ball if he's not pulled back. More likely than not, he's going to get control of the ball. It wasn't like the ball was fizzed across at 1,000,000 miles an hour and was already at the corner flag before Mbeumo had even got to the 6-yard box. Not one of them thought this. How is that even plausible? I get a mistake when it's one person in the moment making a decision. Think about if you were at work. Just think of what you do for a living, whatever it is. Imagine there was 5 or 6 professionals of your industry all there at that exact moment, discussing what you're about to do. Think of all the mistakes you've ever made. How likely is that mistake if other professionals were around you? Think about it. Imagine you're a chef. Are you going to flip that egg now? Yeah. They want easy over easy. It's a little underdone. You might break the yolk. What do you think? What do you think? That's a bit of an extreme example. But imagine you had 5, 6, 7 chefs there. Do you think somebody would do it too early? You've all watched like Gordon Ramsay's like Hell's Kitchen. You've got all those wannabe chefs, right? And they make mistakes, and they don't. But imagine if you actually had like 6 or 7 Gordon Ramsays there. Do you think there'd ever be a mistake? You'd never get to that point. I really do think I'm right here. Maybe I'm not. Tell me in the comments section. I love getting your feedback. How have they done that? How have they got to that point and gone, oh no, he never had control of the ball? How has no one sat there and gone, but that's irrelevant? It's irrelevant. He's going to get control of the ball. The amount of people being sent off when they run clean through on goal and they've been taken out before touching it by a keeper or a defender and they've been sent off. Why suddenly did that having control of the ball matter? Why has no one challenged it? So yeah, you can stuff your apology. Too much, too little, too late. As ever, look, people, hit that like button for us. Get the video hyped up. Make sure you're subscribing to my channel. Check out the Football Terrace as well. You can scan this QR code on the screen or on the homepage of my personal channel with the links to the Football Terrace and the Football Terrace Extra channel. It'd be great to see you guys over there. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you soon. Peace.